Is she? I don't know. I don't know if she's here. Okay, well, thank you everyone for being here. I very much appreciate your guys' time. I am so excited to talk about money and time again. And I am so blessed and grateful that my amazing son is here with me and is joining me to share all of what we want to share with you, everybody, today. So, I want to maximize this time. And if you're watching this recording, thank you, because we are recording this meeting as well. So I want to talk today, we're going to talk about money and time. And money and time, it's the greatest asset. It is the greatest asset that you guys have, that anyone has. Time. It's something that we cannot reproduce and we cannot make more. You can work 8 hours, you can work 10 hours, you can work 12 hours, and we are not able to make more of it. And in order to be able to get to the next level financially, we got to be very picky with our time and how we're managing our time. Avelino, I'm going to ask you a question. You are surrounded by very successful real estate agents. And it was interesting to me the last time that we were talking, and you mentioned that not all, but some of them have their real estate career, and they also have a business. Is that correct? Do you remember when you shared that?
Yes.
Okay. How many agents do you know that they have their career and they have a business on the side?
A lot of them, really. I mean, there's so much money you can make alone. There's a limit to how much money you can make alone in a way, like in selling real estate. There gets to a point where in order to compete at a level that they're competing, you need to have, you know, you need to have your connections, your own businesses, things like that, and that's what allows you to compete at that next level. So
Oh, this is very interesting. So being a real estate agent, when you have a business that allows you to compete?
well, yeah, because at the end of the day, there's like just like in business, right? You're competing against other businesses, whether you're a coffee shop or whatever it is. And as a realtor, whatever you can do to make you stand out, whatever you can do to make you stand out. And a lot of the time that's through making your other businesses as well. The majority, you see those top agents, they're very entrepreneurial. They're not just gonna stick with their selling, because that's not what anyone wants to do, right? It's just continue selling.
Mhm.
So in order to make more money, they want to start another business. They already made it in one industry. Why not make it in another?
That is so smart. Now, let's think about what you just said. Like, they don't want to be selling the whole time, right? Like, the only way a real estate agent makes money is by selling. And by selling means that you gotta be working. It's just like any job. It's just like if you don't work, you don't make money. That's bottom line, right? So you gotta be producing to be able to generate the money. But these people have an entrepreneurial mindset and they have those goals. Now, how do you think they manage their time? Because I don't know if some of them have families, have children, but how do you think they manage their time between being a full-time real estate agent and being a business owner?
Um, Being a family realtor and a business owner is what you're
Like
saying?
the people that you know, the peers that you have been hanging out with that are not only real estate agents, but they also have a business. How do you think they manage their time?
Well, it's through leverage, through other people, through systems, through processes. So
Ah, Jorgito, Avelino's talking all fancy here. Like, oh, it's through
um,
leverage, through systems, through like all what are you under like what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? Like He said they're doing it by leverage. What does that mean to you?
Well, that they have people that can help them.
What about
Basically.
systems?
Systems?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like a rule that you follow in a way, no? It's kind of like already set up for you to continue or to grow from that.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
think about the last job that you had.
Mm-hmm.
Not on your own, the last job that you had. When
Okay.
you first started that job, you were given instructions on what to do,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You got training and you got good at what you were doing. You were doing it and then you were able to complete the job,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you went back home or when you finished your shift, was your mindset, did you ever had any thoughts about what were you actually doing, or were you doing it just automatically because you got used to what you were doing?
It was more of a routine.
There you go. That's what I
Yeah.
was trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get. So time and money. This is what I really want to give you guys to think about today. Human beings, we are creatures of habit and routines. And sometimes we don't like our routines, we don't like our habits, we don't like our bank account balance. But that does not mean that we're going to change it, because we are programmed in a certain way. How you wake up on a Monday, how you go to bed on a Friday, what you do on a Thursday, what you do on the weekend. And unless you're hanging out with people that are doing things differently, you're going to start doing things differently. And that's why the majority of the population live paycheck by paycheck, because we're just in the mindset of doing what comes next until we have a lot of pain or we have an economic impact and we have to figure out how to do something else. Or we're hanging out with different people that are doing different things. Now, when you think about creating wealth, when you guys are thinking about creating wealth, you gotta think bigger than time. I'm gonna say that again. If you really wanna create wealth and you don't wanna just be working paycheck by paycheck, people that have been able to make a successful career, life, business are the ones that are thinking beyond time. And that's exactly what Avelino and Jorgito just shared about leveraging. And I'm going to share a big word that a lot of people don't like and that we have a taboo around it, that is sales. Everybody sells. I don't care what business, everybody sells. Even us as moms, we sell ideas to our children. Everybody's selling. Avelino's selling me the idea that he wants a dining table, for example. Like, everybody is selling some kind of idea or something. I'm just giving that example. So when you think about leveraging, it's about bringing value. Jorgito, you don't get paid for what you do. Fernanda, you don't get paid, or you're not going to get paid for what you do. Alondra does not get paid for what she does. Avelino doesn't get paid what the hours that he's working. We get paid for results and value. I'm going to say that again. Jorgito, you're not getting paid for the job that you're doing. You're getting paid for the value and the results that you're bringing to the business that you're working for.
Mm-hmm.
You're not an employee. You're bringing value to the business that you're working in. And the way the culture, the community, the way that we're programmed is that you study, you go to work, you do your best, you come home, and then you do the same thing. because businesses need employees, need people to work for them, right? So no one is gonna like want to tell you how they make it because they need you to come and work for them, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you think about the value that you're bringing, if you're making $20 an hour right now, you can be making $200 an hour. The difference is the value that you're bringing to the problem that you're solving. Time, you cannot make more. Time is already set. There's so many hours in the day. There's so many hours in the day. There's so many hours in the week. We cannot make more time, but we can bring more value and increase the income that you're bringing to yourself. You get paid for the results. That's what we get paid for. You get it done, perfect. You're able to get it done, you're gonna be compensated. But how much money is gonna be coming into your bank account gonna depend on how valuable you are. And when you think about value, in order to really become financially successful, you cannot depend on one straight up income. You cannot. You can't depend on one stream of income. That's just not a way, because if another pandemic comes and everything gets shut down, what's going to happen if we only depend on one income? Fernanda, Paola, Alondra, everybody that right now are looking into what I'm going to do, I just want you to like stick it in your head. You're not going to depend on one stream of income. That's it. One of my mentors and my coaches, he had 10 different incomes. He had books, he had this, he had that. So overall, he had 10. When the pandemic hit, he was left with 3. He was fine. He was chilling. Okay. Most people were freaking out and had to depend from the government because they only had 1. Does that make sense? So in order to get ahead in life and not be living paycheck to paycheck, we need to realize that we get paid for value and we get paid for results. You could be a very nice person and you can be bringing the business the results, but if you're not adding a lot of value, your value on your bank account is not going to increase because you're doing the same thing. Now, most of my mentors and my coaches have taught me that the way to create wealth and get out of the rat race, meaning living paycheck by paycheck, it's bringing value to the marketplace. What can you do to become more valuable to the marketplace? Every business solves a problem, and we talked about it last month. Every business solves a problem, and any career that you have or any career that you're gonna get into solves a problem. If I go to my nail shop, they're solving the problems that I want my beautiful nails. If I want to the barber shop, he's solving the problem that my hair, it's like all over the place. Think about it. You go in business or you add something of value to people, to the marketplace, and that's how you get paid. But you don't depend on one stream of income. That is a no-no if you want to be financially free. If you want to depend on the government, if you want to depend on other people, if you want to just be a victim, then go right ahead. But if you want to stay ahead and be free financially, you cannot depend from one stream of income. And the way that you create another stream of income, it's by bringing value. What problem can I solve? What am I so passionate about? What I love to do that I can bring to other people? Like, what can I do to start making a difference on the service that I can provide? One of my coaches told me, Esmeralda, you work on your job so you can pay your bills. You work on your job so you can pay your bills and you can support yourself. And on your free time, you start building a money machine. A money machine, it's a system, what Avelino just shared. A business is nothing but a system. If you start cutting hair, Jorgito, for instance, you start developing which client I want, what type of haircuts, what are the fees. You start creating a system. People who are just doing side jobs and don't create the system, they're not creating any value because they're going after just to get paid. They just want to cut their hair to get paid. There's a big difference between saying, maybe I want to target working moms that they're not able to bring the kids during like when they're working. Maybe my barbershop is going to be open late. Maybe I'm going to open from 6 to 9 and I'm going to target these families that they're not able to get out of the job to bring the kids to get a haircut. And I'm going to do a night shop. I'm bringing value to the marketplace and I'm solving a problem that exists in the marketplace. And because I'm solving the problem, I'm being compensated for that. But if I said, oh, I just need a side job, I can make it. Like I just need to get paid. It's just me. That's a short term. That's a short term gain. It's not long term because we're living in survival. When we're living in survival, and I know it's real life and I know it's tough. I mean, my husband and I have gone through a lot and I know it's tough, but we gotta be bigger than the thoughts that we have. And this is why I created these workshops, and this is why I'm so passionate about sharing this, because there's a lot of people go like literally die being ignorant and innocent of how they were able to be free financially. So is that making sense? We get paid by the value that we bring to the marketplace. We get paid by the results that we're bringing to the marketplace. We work so we can pay our bills, and on the side hustle or the side business that we create gotta bring value beyond how much money you're gonna get paid. If you really connect with that you're so passionate about, that can create that income that you need so you can do what you want to do. But it's not gonna come unless you change your mindset of going from an employee mindset to an open mindset, because it's not even entrepreneurial or business, it's an open mindset of being conscious. What can I do to help others, but at the same time create that wealth that I deserve, that my family deserves, thinking outside the box? Jorge, I love to see your face because I see you're thinking.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, what caught my attention was that you need to solve people's problems. I'm thinking of how to solve people's problems. I'm like, what kind of problems do people have? I don't know.
What kind of problems did you have? What
Oh,
kind of problems do you have?
I don't know. I have a lot. But I don't know. It's hard.
You know, Tony Robbins, my coach and my amazing teacher, he suffered a lot of violence from his mom. She was an alcoholic and he was pretty much abused as a kid. So his main problem was his mom. So he became a psychologist like at age 15 or 14 because of his mom, because how bad she beat him and the lifestyle that him and his siblings were having. So he's a multi-billionaire right now. He found a problem that he had and he was able to solve the problem and help other people with the same problems. So the first thing that I want you to do, Jorge, and I'm going straight at you because I'm going to check on you on the next class, it's that vocabulary of saying, I don't know. If you keep telling yourself, I don't know, you're not going to know. Your brain, it's not going to give you the ideas. It's just going to say, okay, you don't know. Okay, I'm going to shoot down the light. So it all starts with, what if you know? And when it comes down to solving people's problems, I really want you to go deep within yourself on the stuff that you believe in, stuff that, like, I could be teaching even if I don't get paid. I don't care. I love to share this. I love to teach. This is just what I love. What do you love? I don't know, but you do know, you know? So you can try to like figure it out and see the world with different eyes. Not just the eyes of, I need a job, give me a job, or I need a paycheck, or I need to survive. Like looking at the world with the different eyes, the eyes of actually creating and not just surviving. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Avelino, what are you thinking?
About my problems.
What about them?
I got a lot of problems, I guess. I don't know.
You don't know the problems. You are so hilarious.
That's a hard question.
But I
I
still,
want to say I don't know.
but now that I told you not to do it, you're thinking about it, huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Mission
a
accomplished.
problem, what comes to your mind? First thing that comes to mind, just say it.
First thing that comes to mind,
Just say it.
finances, financially.
You have finance problems.
No, not really, but I like money. I want money.
Te gusta la buena vida.
I'm going to remind you guys of this chart. How can we make $1 million? This is the real math. Okay. If you can figure out a way to add value to the marketplace, this is a couple of ways that you can make $1 million. If you have a salary of 100K for 20 years, that's 1 million. If you have a salary of 100K for 10 years, you'll make $1 million. 250 for 4 years. Or you can create a product that costs $200 and you can sell it to 5,000 people and you make $1 million. Or you can create a product or a solution for $500 and sell it to 2,000 people and you get the $1 million. Or you can create a $100 product and sell it to 10,000 people, you can make $1 million. If you create something of value where people pay you on a monthly basis, if 5,000 people pay you $17 a month for 12 months, that's 1 million. If people pay you $42 a month, 2,000 people for $42 a month, in 12 months, you have $1 million. 1,000 people for $83 per month for 12 months, that's $1 million. 500 people, look, 300 people that pays you $278 per month for 12 months will give you $1 million. This is the math. And even if you don't want to make $1 million, maybe you want to make $500,000 or 250,000. Maybe like you're not ready for that million, you know, it's like 200 will be fine. Well, then we just have to cut these numbers. Does that make sense? How are we going to get to this number, guys? How we're going to be able to get to this? And this is something that it's it could be abnormal for what I'm going to say, and please just listen to me and stay with me. This is how Tony Robbins, this is how Dr. Joe Dispenza, this is how all these people that have created these amazing lives have been able to create what they have. And that's through the power of their mind. I'm not going to go into detail. We don't have the time right now. We are going to. But I want you guys to very realize that what you need to make the life that you want, you already have. You have a brain and you have a heart. You just need to know how to use it. You have a brain and you have a heart. You just got to know how to use them consciously. The phone. If we go back to the 1990s, 1980s, this little baby did not exist. You guys have seen maybe pictures of the phones from back then. This phone was first created in the mind of somebody who did not give up on this idea. Can you guys imagine how many trial and errors they had until they were able to get to this phone? Where right now we don't even need a laptop. We can like pretty much do everything on the phone. It had to start in the mind of somebody, and that somebody had to have what it's called faith on seeing what he didn't see yet. This baby had to sleep, had to live in the mind of somebody that did not give up until this came to life. We are programmed to think that I need to work hard. And I'm here to tell you that it's not true. You don't have to work hard physically. You gotta work hard internally and mentally, because one of the biggest obstacles are your beliefs, and your beliefs are not even your beliefs. I was listening to Jorge the other day, and he unconsciously said that he procrastinated, or that he would like take too long to procrastinate. And I wanted to say it, but I didn't say it, that belief, it's not yours. That's not who you are. That's how you were raised and what you saw from other people, and you adopted that belief. But that does not mean that you are that. The beliefs that we have of what we can or cannot do can be easily changed when you start hanging out with other people and when you start questioning ideas from other people. If you want to sell, let's say Avelino, if Avelino wants to sell 4 more properties this year, he can work very hard. He can go open houses, he can knock on doors, he can make calls, he can do all the hard work because he needs to get it. Of course he's going to get it, right? Because hard work pays off. But it gets to the point that there is not coherence between his mind and his heart, because when we don't see the results right away, what happens with our attitudes? We have a roller coaster that goes up and down, especially on sales. We feel like $1 million today, and tomorrow I feel like crap. It goes like this, right? So if we just depend on hard work, it's gonna take longer to achieve what we want to achieve. I'm telling you guys, what I'm sharing right now, and Avelino knows, I have invested a lot of time and money, because this is the stuff that the rich and the successful knows. And it has cost me a lot of money and a lot of time. That's why I believe and I treasure, because if they have done it and then share it and I'm paying for that information, I will be dumb if I'm not gonna apply what I'm learning. But because most of us don't invest or don't have the finances to be able to do that, then we hear these kind of things like, that's crazy. What if I just like, really, can you tell me that I'm gonna get my goal if I just write, or if I just meditate, or if I just think? Like, that's not normal. But in reality, what successful people have found is that when you're able to connect within yourself, when you're able to connect with that God that lives inside you, and you have the faith to believe on what you don't see, your hard work makes it faster to get to where we are right now. Hard work alone, it's gonna give you that roller coaster. And if it gets you on the bad moment when you're done, most people throw the towel. It's like, oh, this is not for me. Yeah, I suck. This is not for me. I'm just gonna do something else. Because we're not using our mind, because we don't know how to use our mind. So I really want to leave you guys with this. The power that you need already lives within you. You just gotta be open-minded to tap into your brain and your heart to be able to have a different lifestyle. Hard work alone does not get us there. We need to go beyond time. We need to be able to leverage, control our emotions, and really have faith that whatever it is that we want, it's going to happen. The challenge is that we want everything or we don't know what we want. We either want everything or we don't know what we want, or we're not clear on what we want. When we first were looking to buy Apple Creek, the first ranch, I think it took us what, like 3-4 years, and I think over, I don't know, maybe like 30 banks told me no. My husband was in construction, I was in the bank, like we had no money, we had like no experience, and I was even embarrassed to ask the real estate agents because they were looking at me like, who do you think you are? Like, what? How you're trying to buy a multi-million-dollar property? What? With no money? What? You're crazy. I had faith. I had faith. And my husband had a dream, because this was his dream. In his head, he wanted it so bad because it connected with him and he just wanted to serve. And I just wanted to help him fulfill that dream. And I had faith. The only thing that allowed us to be where we are right now is just faith, on believing on what's impossible for other people, because for everybody else, we were crazy. There was no freaking way that we were going to be able to get this. No way. Over 40, like 30 banks telling me no. Like I lost count on the real estate agents. Like I lost count how many told me that I was crazy. No one gave me the opportunity. No one. But I believe on what I couldn't see. I didn't know how. It was not my problem, because, and that's what I know now that I'm studying with Dr. Joe, is like, oh, I get it. What I did back then, I didn't know what I was doing. So back then I did not care how I was going to get the money. All I knew is I had a clear vision of what I wanted. And things just flowed away. And everything worked out because I did not give up on the idea of what I wanted. So first you gotta be able to know what you want, be clear. If you want tacos, you want chicken, or you want steak. You can just say, oh, I can just have any tacos. What about if you're allergic, right? And you're getting tacos that are bad for you. Like, you gotta be specific. You want chicken, or you want meat, or you want veggies? What kind of tacos do you want? What kind of soda do you want? What kind of cake do you want? It's the same with life. And you gotta be able to be open to believe on what you don't see yet, and do more mental, personal work than just working hard every day. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? But I want Avelino to add. Can you add something else to what I have shared with everybody today, please? Some words of wisdom.
What would you like me to share, mother of mine?
What are you thinking?
Money problems, so many problems.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
with money talk. I don't know. Uh, I think for me, what really stuck with what you were saying is, the passion. You're talking about passion, and I think we all have this view. It's so easy to throw around, just like do what you're passionate about. Do what you're passionate about. I think it's just so easy to throw around, but I think for me, what's worked well for me is that I kind of changed my perspective on what passion is. And I think a lot of people believe that they're born with a passion, and they get stuck. It's like, well, I don't know what I'm passionate about. And that's what's tricky about it, right? It's that I don't believe that you're born with it, but you make it. I've told you before. I said it before. So yeah, I think if people just get that that view that you have to follow your passion when you don't have one, you just go make it. So
Nice. I love it. Jorgito, what are you thinking?
Muchas cosas.
You can just share one. I don't
Well,
need all of them.
uh,
just one, just
it's
one.
just
This is a safe
what
space.
what
It's a
you
safe space, okay?
what you said about uh when
It's
you said that hard work that it goes up and down, and that when you see like financially you're good in a way, and then it drops down and you lose all hope. I was just reflecting on because that happened to me. That's exactly what happened, and it was just, a big mess, and head was spinning, a lot of things. I was thinking a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just threw the towel, and it was just like, no, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like I shouldn't have, because I feel like I could have gone more, but that's what happened.
And I love that you're reflecting on that. When I was very fortunate and blessed to go to Stanford. I was selected to take a business class. And I remember when I started the class, I couldn't understand when some of my other students, some of my peers, they already have businesses, like very successful businesses. And I remember the professor asking, "Are you profitable yet? Are you profitable yet? Are you profitable yet?" And I'm like, "What? Are you breaking even yet? Do you break? Oh, like years and 7 point." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Right? The biggest lesson that I learned from that experience was that everything takes time. Everything takes time. And one of my mentors told me, "Esmeralda, what you do today, you're gonna see the fruits in 6 months. What you don't do today, you're gonna regret or pay the price in 6 months."
Mm.
So any decisions, any activities, anything that we do today is going to have a reflect in some time. But we haven't been told these. Like, this is not our fault that we don't know. Like, you throw the towel, yeah, it was an experience, but you're learning, you're getting ahead. Because if that didn't happen, you wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So things have to happen for us to be where we're meant to be at whatever time. So my final words to everybody today is, it's known that your greatest asset is time. Your greatest asset is time, and you get paid for value. And I really invite everyone to wake up and not be on automatic and just being a human being of habit. Just wake up, be bigger than your job, the hours that you're working. I know everybody has pain, everybody's suffering, everybody's going through financial challenges. I know that, but when we start looking the world with different eyes on how, like, I'm struggling with this, like, is that a solution for what I'm struggling? No, it's not. Well, what about if I make that solution? Like, how can I bring value to the marketplace? There's nothing wrong. And we're going to talk about beliefs in money next month, because that's a big one. There's nothing wrong with you providing value and charging for it. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. And it's one of the biggest obstacles of really acknowledging acknowledging that you have the right to be wealthy. And those beliefs don't even come from you, come from your parents, from your grandparents, from your great-grandparents. It just doesn't belong to us. But when we really connect with that divine, for me, it's God that lives with me, inside me. It's like you realize that you're worth it. You're bringing value. Why not be compensated for that? So the money beliefs, the money thoughts are something that it's very a challenge. And that's why most people are still living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I will share the next date for next month. I just invite everybody to just be very conscious of the importance. Besides money, the most important asset that you have is time. It's time. How are you going to leverage? How you're going to have multiple streams of income? How you're going to bring value? Like, think about it. If you have a gas station and people are pumping gas and you start selling candy, why don't you add chips? If you're adding chip, why don't you add coffee? That's why gas stations right now, if you go to a gas station, you can find everything because the client is already there. How can you serve more? How can you add more value on the stuff that you're already doing and thinking beyond how much I'm going to charge? Remember the sample that I give you guys about the barbershop. What about a dentist who's open at night and doesn't close at 3 o'clock when it's like kids are not even out of school and we have to take them out of school? You know, like think outside the box. What about those hotels that welcome you at 10 a.m. instead of checking in until 3, 4 o'clock? Like thinking outside the box, how I can serve, what area I can serve people, solve those problems. And beauty and the divine and the blessing just keep coming to the way because you're doing it from the inside out. You're not doing it from your own benefit. Like, I need to get paid. I need to get this money. Like, no, it's coming from the inside out. Sweet dreams, everyone. Thank you for being here with me today. And I'll see you guys next month. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Good night.